Hey, yo, what? Oscar De La, I do believe, I believe. He gets at Ryan Garcia and explains what went left with their relationship. He explains that he told Ryan Garcia not to take the fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. Roll the clip.
After we told him not to take the Tank fight on their terms.
You said you told Ryan Garcia not to take the Tank fight under their terms. He's the A side. You gotta take the fight under Tank Davis's terms. Let's talk about it. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, Fight Hype did an interview. Link will be in the description with Oscar De La Hoya the day before the fight. And the title was something like Oscar De La Hoya shocking reveal, gives details on the Ryan Garcia beef and who's to blame and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, let me hear what De La Hoya is talking about. You guys heard a very brief snippet. He tells you that we told Ryan not to take the Tank fight under their terms, which I'm going to talk about. You don't have an option. Tank Davis is the ticket seller. Listen, I'm the best in the business of boxing, and it's not even close. You can listen to me. You don't have to listen to me, but that's how it is. The reality is what the reality is. Ryan Garcia, I know he has a different take, and his fans, they're saying that, oh, it did over 1 million, but Boxingego, it did over 1 million all because of Ryan. I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to be very blunt. Anytime you have a black star in the world of boxing, old media finds a way to attribute the success to anybody other than that black fighter. We've seen it with Floyd Mayweather. If Floyd fought Oscar De La Hoya and the fight did very well and set records at the time, people said it was De La Hoya's fan base. Okay, fine. De La Hoya was the cash cow. It's possible, plausible. But later on, after that fight, Floyd became easy work, Money Mayweather. And he was ruling the game of boxing, producing the biggest events, making the most money, and setting records that still haven't been duplicated or beaten since, right? And he's pretty much retired, right? He does exhibitions, but to me, that's retired, right? Floyd Mayweather will fight Canelo. They say, oh, the people did, the Canelo fans, they're the reason why the fight did 2.4 million pay-per-view buys. If it was a successful fight, grossing fight with Ricky Hatton, oh, it's because of Ricky Hatton. Maidana, oh, it's because of Maidana. But the common denominator is the black fighter, Floyd Mayweather. Fast forward to an early Floyd protege, Gervonta Davis, you see the same thing. Tank fights Leo Santa Cruz, good fight, does well. People say, oh, it's because of Leo's fan base. That's why I did this live gate. But Tank is doing the live gate with lesser known Mexican Americans like Mario Barrios in Atlanta, right? In Atlanta. And he's fighting Gamboa and bringing out a crowd. I was at that fight, so on and so forth. So you're not going to tell me that Ryan Garcia is the sole reason. I know the UFC, Dana White and all them saying that that's the reason. They're not in boxing. I am. Tank Davis is a seller. And of course, it takes two to tango. You get a better dance partner or somebody who helps to sell it. Then yeah, you can make the fight go up even more. But at the end of the day, they keep trying to attribute the success of this particular Tank Ryan fight only to Ryan. But the reality is, which leads me to what De La Hoya is saying, is Gervonta was the A side. It said Davis Garcia, not Garcia Davis. So it's funny to now hear Oscar De La Hoya say that we tried to tell him not to take the fight under their terms. So Golden Boy tried to block the fight, and you know what I'm saying? They try to get in the way and stop the fight, which is exactly what I told you. The great ego Stradamus strikes again. Damn, I'm good. So I told you Golden Boy didn't really want that fight. Ryan Garcia had been their biggest star since Canelo Alvarez. Payday. You'll want payday. I know that. Ever since he left, Golden Boy sued, got out of his contract, breached contract, whatever. He's gone. Ryan was the next big guy up. He had a flashy style. He has power. He's a good-looking kid. Pause. Clean cut, whatever. Girls like him. Interesting, entertaining style. So he was marketable, in other words, right? And that was the guy that people were rooting for. And not to mention, he was even at a point in time, he was in Canelo Alvarez's gym. So that gave him like a boost in the Mexican demographic because he was working with Eddie Reynoso in a primarily Hispanic gym with Canelo, Andy Ruiz at the time, also Cuban, Frank Sanchez, Oscar Valdez, etc. So now we're hearing from the horse's mouth in this Fight Hype interview, Oscar De La Hoya is saying that we told him not to take the fight and he was bullheaded or stubborn and he wanted the fight, and now he's mad at us and I don't understand why, which I'll get to that in a second. So many ways for your boy Ego to break this down. For starters, I told you so. Golden Boy didn't want the fight. I think they knew that Gervonta Davis, at the very least, I don't think they had faith in Ryan Garcia getting it done. That's the most simplistic way to put it. I think they knew Gervonta Davis is experienced, he's hitting hard, he can box, and they didn't think Ryan was ready. In fact, there's an old ES News interview with Ryan Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, and he literally was asked, hey, is Ryan ready for Tank? And Oscar says, no, Tank's a beast. Tank's a beast. And he said, no, he's not ready. Tank's a beast. A couple years later, now Oscar De La Hoya, when the fight was actually done deal, blah, 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 Oscar De La Hoya was trying to act emboldened and like he was confident Ryan Garcia was going to knock out Tank Davis. So now we find out that was cap, because you wouldn't have said don't take the fight on their terms if you truly believed all the stuff you were saying to promote the fight. So that was Oscar being a promoter. The bottom line, he didn't have faith that Ryan could beat Tank Davis. He wasn't comfortable, and he knew this would be a setback. So he urged him, he's telling you out of his own mouth, he's urging him not to take the fight on their terms. What terms? So let's talk about it. He says in this interview, the rehydration clause. Bro, Ryan's a big kid, Tank's the A side. Canelo does rehydration clauses with certain fighters. It's something you potentially have to deal with so as to not balloon up and gain a bunch of weight. No more, no less. Tank Davis is at 135. The fight happened at 136, a catch weight, because Ryan's team, they fought to have it at a different weight class. They wanted it at a weight class that suited him. But at the end of the day, you're not the A side, like I keep saying. Gervonta Davis is, so you had to play by his rules. You want the fight, you got to make some concessions as the B side. Now, it's just like old media says. This is how full of lies old media is. They say stuff like, oh, Wilder, when he was pitted against Joshua, oh, just take the short money. Just take whatever Eddie Hearn is offering you, even if it's low money, for the opportunity to fight Joshua for 3 belts against your 1 belt. And then if you beat him, then you could be the man in the rematch. But we know that it doesn't always work like that, because Andy Ruiz would later beat Joshua and he didn't have full dictatorship in the rematch based on things that were pinned before the first fight outcome even happened in the contract. So he didn't get the line. Joshua made more money even in the rematch coming in as a non-champion, and Ruiz was the new champion. See how that works? So I actually respect Ryan Garcia for sticking up. He wanted to fight, and he made sure that his team got it done, because it's very apparent his team didn't want to get it done. And now we have confirmation on wax from Oscar De La Hoya that they didn't really like him taking the fight with Tank for, he's saying, because of the terms. But here's another thing. This also makes them look bad. Is Ryan Garcia did an interview with Brian Custer, and it was rumored that he had injured ribs, and that's why he succumbed to the body shot versus Gervonta Davis. Now De La Hoya is coming out and saying we didn't want him to take the fight because of the terms. You can't have it both ways. Which one is it? Either A, Ryan was basically claused to death and the terms or the reason that he lost the fight, or is it because he entered the fight with some kind of pre-existing rib injury? You see what I'm saying? This is loser talk. That's what I call it. I call it loser talk. When you lose and then you have to make a million different excuses and rationales to explain away the loss. De La Hoya is saying the terms we didn't like, so we told him not to take the fight. But Ryan Garcia is not so much he's not so much complaining about the terms. He's saying he wants a Tank rematch because he didn't enter the fight 100% because he had a rib injury. So again, which one is it? You lost because of the ribs, or you lost because of the terms on the contract? And again, I don't want to hear that anyway, because this is why you pay people the big bucks to help manage and guide your career. So if De La Hoya, what he's saying is true, and they told Ryan not to take the fight, and Ryan was stubborn and said, no, me and Guadalupe Valencia, his attorney or his dad or whatever, liked the terms, and they took it, then you signed up for that. You can't go crying over spilt milk after the fact. So again, this all does not fare well and look good for the team, Golden Boy and Ryan Garcia. In this interview, Oscar De La Hoya sounded very Karen-like. He's trying to make it sound like he can't understand why Ryan Garcia is mad. And Ryan Garcia, he's like, man, 99% of my fighters, we have a great relationship, and I don't understand why Ryan's so mad at us. He says some weird stuff. They said, what's your last message if Ryan sees this? He says, I feel your pain. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. But De La Hoya is trying to play the victim, AKA Karen behavior, when it comes to Ryan Garcia. They even asked him about the B-Hop, the outspoken stuff that B-Hop was saying. And he's like, B-Hop's just being a promoter, and he didn't say anything wrong. But when he said what he said, your boy Ego, the great Ego Stradamus, made a video about it. And I said, hey, that was kind of foul. And it sounds like Golden Boy is against him, or like not really rocking with their own superstar fighter. And then that's subsequently exactly what Ryan Garcia felt. And he said that in the press conference on the mic. And I made a video about that, so you guys could check that on the channel. So this all looks a mess. And clearly B-Hop said something because it offended him. I mean, what do you expect Ryan to act like when De La Hoya is saying certain things like, oh, I fear for Ryan's headspace, right? I don't know where his head's at. Somebody's getting knocked out tomorrow. These like jabs that appear like subliminal barbs that you're sending Ryan's way. And then B-Hop's doing interviews saying, oh, I don't promote a lie, and I don't kiss fighters' butts. I'm not going to kiss no ass. And he's saying stuff like, I'll determine if Ryan should keep fighting depending on how he looks versus Duarte. And then now they're trying to act like they don't understand why Ryan is perturbed or upset. This is just all laughable to me. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys check out that interview. Kind of funny, to be honest, because De La Hoya's in full victim mode, PR, damage control, and this is the day before the fight. So I can't wait for the fight, Ryan Duarte. A lot of drama going on, and I want to see how it unfolds. For more boxing, this is your #1 shop. Subscribe to the channel. Who do you believe in? Do you agree with De La Hoya, who's saying that Ryan shouldn't have took the fight? But like I said, I'm not even accepting that. Scratch that. I'm not even accepting that. You took the fight. You signed up for the terms. If people in your ear told you not to and you did it anyway, then you got to live with the result. That's it. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.